Welcome back to the Hive Doctor, your beekeeping mentor. It's my job to take the guesswork out of beekeeping for you. We're talking about more beekeeping equipment today. Specifically, we're talking about the slatted rack. So stick around. So as you recall, I use a deeper bottom board than most beekeepers because I love that extra ventilation. It really helps with disease and pest prevention management. And in this particular case, ventilation, specifically what that's going to help fight against, is going to be small hive beetle. That might be something you've already read about in the books. I'm not sure where you are with that, but small hive beetle, they love a moist, wet, humid environment. And when you increase ventilation, you bring down that humidity. So I use what's called a slatted rack, which is what this is, in the bottom board. And that has several purposes. The main reason you have to use a slatted rack in a deeper bottom board is because bees love to fill spaces that are too big, and they'll fill those spaces by building what's called burr comb. And in fact, you can see some burr comb that they've made on the slatted rack here. But if I didn't have this in place, they would build from the bottom bars of the box that sits here all the way down to the bottom board, and it would make working the hive very difficult. So as a beekeeper, I come along and I put a slatted rack in here, and as you can see, it sits slightly below this lip. So bees still have room to crawl here on the top of the rack and under the box that sits on top of it, and they won't build that extra comb that gets down in there. Another advantage is it helps to buffer any cool winds that come in the early spring and in the late fall. And there's one more benefit actually. When it gets really, really hot in summertime, the bees will do something called bearding. And that's when a lot of the bees that don't have anything to do will leave the hive and conglomerate on the outside of the front box to alleviate congestion inside so it doesn't get too warm. Because the bees need to maintain the brood nest at a specific temperature. And if we've got all these bees inside congesting things, it's going to get way warmer than it needs to be. Well, one of the advantages of a slatted rack is that they'll beard on the slatted rack and under the slatted rack sooner than they'll beard on the outside of a box. So it alleviates congestion, it helps buffer winds, cool winds, and it helps improve ventilation as well. This is not a piece of equipment that you need with a regular 3/4 inch bottom board. This is only something that you need with a deep bottom board like this one.